We're going to talk about Nixon, specifically Nixon and Watergate. First of all, what do we know about Richard M. Nixon? Matt, what do you know?
He was president.
President, good. Aaron?
He was president of 1969.
1974, good. Spike?
He was the first to resign.
He was, what's that?
The first to resign.
Why did he resign?
Because of Watergate.
Because of Watergate?
Yeah.
Did Richard M. Nixon get impeached? Matt?
No. Yes,
No.
yes, no.
Yes?
No,
Yes.
no.
Ian?
He resigned himself.
He resigned himself. Letters of impeachment were drawn. However, he did not get impeached.
Save embarrassment, right?
To save embarrassment. He knew that there was enough incriminating evidence against him due to this situation here. Has anybody ever been down to Washington, D.C. and ever see the Watergate building, Watergate complex?
I don't think it went.
You guys didn't go there? I've actually gone to the Watergate complex.
What exactly is it? What is it?
Here they had the Democratic National headquarters here, was in the Watergate building. So maybe next time I go down, I'll take some pictures, bring it back up to you. What I go is to a Safeway, which is a grocery store underneath the Watergate building. I got my hair cut under there, so different things. Never actually been in the building, just around it. What else do we know about Richard M. Nixon? What do we know about his foreign policy? Anything?
Did the
Vietnamization. Created Vietnamization. He also created another term that we'll talk about here. Him and his aide, Kissinger. So the first thing we're going to do, we already have these notes copied down. We already did once. We're just going to show it again. The election of 1968. We know it's a three-horse race. Cory, can you please tell me one of the presidential candidates?
Nixon.
Richard Nixon. What party? Republican. We have Dana. Who else do we have?
Humphrey.
Herbert Humphrey. We have what party? Democratic. We have one more. Desiree. Wallace. He ran on the American Independent. Guys, looking at this map right here, map of the election of 1968. Nixon's here. He wins the Midwest and the West. We have Humphrey winning a majority of the Northeast, as well as Texas here. And we have Wallace winning the South, Southeast here. Looking at the map, who won the, was it a large margin of victory in the popular vote?
No.
I mean, he won the entire, he won the center, the heart of the United States, and he won the West. He won California, Nebraska, Illinois, South Carolina, Florida. He won a majority of the states. What do you think the margin of victory was?
1%. Popular or
Popular.
1%.
It was actually less than 1%.
I can see it on the pie chart.
Less than 1%. We have 43.2 to 42.6. The electoral vote is the one that Nixon ran away with. Nixon had 301 electoral votes, and Humphrey had 191. When you look at this map, what do you see different about the map? What's out of the ordinary? Pat?
Hawaii, Alaska.
Hawaii and Alaska, they're always on the map. Out of the ordinary. Kaylee?
Democratic. It's red.
Democratic is red, Republican's blue. So it's flip-flopped. I did that to see if you guys would notice anything odd or out of the ordinary against this. Also, I really like this map because it broke down the electoral and the popular vote. We know in the popular vote, does the popular vote guarantee that you're president of the United States?
No.
What election, a fairly recent one, did did somebody win the popular vote, but however they did not win the presidential seat? Aaron.
Bush and Gore.
Bush and Gore, election of 2000. 2000. He got Bush got sworn in 2001. Still talking here about Nixon. We're going to talk about the silent majority. He campaigned to the silent majority. Silent majority is who? Who is the silent majority here that Nixon campaigned to in 1968? Ian.
Like average white American.
Average white American. What color were they? Blue, white, pink, green?
Blue collar.
Blue collar. Blue collars are what type of workers, Nick? No idea? Can somebody help? And then just like
people that work, like construction workers and stuff.
construction workers. Can you think of one now? Blue collar workers. They are, like Spike said, construction workers. They have other occupations as well. A lot of them use their hands. Plumbers. Welders. Things, people like, am I a blue collar worker? I use my hands to write. However, I'm not in the field. I don't need my hands to do this.
Are we writing this out or not?
This part we covered some in previous lecture. This part, however, is new. We're going to talk about Nixon. We're going to talk about his ideas to change how the government influences state and local governments. We're also going to talk about one of Nixon's most important features that I feel, and that is his foreign policy. Nixon wanted to decrease the influence of the federal government. He wanted to move away from LBJ's Great Society. Talked about LBJ and his Great Society. Can anybody recall one of his ideas for the Great Society? One plan to kind of help the people? Spike.
Gave more power to the state governments.
Yes, to an extent. He created. I'll give you a hint. One of them is healthcare that he kind of reformed and recreated.
Medicaid and Medicare.
Medicaid and Medicare. The creation of Medicaid and Medicare. These are all examples of ideas from the Great Society here. All ideas to help the people with the influence or with the federal government's help. Nixon, on the other hand, wanted to create a new idea, new federalism, as he called it. And this was the idea to just kind of distribute the federal powers to your state and local governments. And one of the most important things that when we write history 200 years from now, Nixon will be in our history books as a president who resigned due to Watergate, got us out of Vietnam. However, he will also be remembered for revenue sharing, and he'll also be remembered for his foreign policy. Revenue sharing is the idea that state and local governments can use federal money as they see fit. Before it was the federal government who decided what the money was going towards. So in our case here, the United States government would use revenue sharing to give local governments if our roads needed fixed, if our school needed fixed, if we needed a new fire truck in the local fire company. Money would be given to the fire company to help purchase a new fire truck. So this is all very important. This revenue sharing will be, it was one of the most important factors that Richard Nixon brought to the table here. We'll also talk about his foreign policy today. Here we see Kissinger and Nixon again. What did they create earlier? What did they create that we learned earlier, dealing with Vietnam? Anybody recall? Anybody remember Kissinger? They created Vietnamization. And once again, Adam, what's Vietnamization? Gradually or all of a sudden, just a gradual withdrawal of troops from where? From the United States? From Vietnam. So the gradual withdrawal of troops in Vietnam.